Let's start with things that are really critical to the nation where we think we might be able to open without getting into a lot of trouble. I tell you, schools are a very appetizing opportunity. I just saw a nice piece in The Lancet arguing that the opening of schools may only cost us 2 to 3% in terms of total mortality. 2 to 3% in terms of total mortality.
Oh my God.
And, you know, that's any life is a life lost. But to get every child back into a school where they're safely being educated, being fed, and making the most out of their lives with a theoretical risk in the backside, it might be a trade-off some folks would consider.
Oh no!
People are dying from the coronavirus. I get that. But look, the fact of the matter is we have people dying. 45,000 people a year die from automobile accidents, 480,000 from cigarettes, 360,000 a year from swimming pools, but we don't shut the country down for that.
Oh my God!
No! Dr. Phil gets sent to the ranch along with Dr. Oz. Now, they're not like real practicing medical doctors, but they go by that name. Now, entertainment-wise, Dr. Phil is great at owning teenage girls who are brats that need to go to the ranch. It's what he does best. But maybe don't go on Fox News and comment on things as a doctor. I'm not even talking about whether or not I agree or disagree with either of their takes. It's just funny. The Twitter outrage has been legendary. So if you aren't up on it, yesterday, a zombie like Dr. Phil went on a Fox News show to essentially, put things in perspective in his mind. Dr. Phil slammed for comparing the Koof passings to other incidents. Now, his statement isn't wrong, but people are afraid. And the Koof is a big moneymaker. And what is the biggest moneymaker that the media has? Say it with me. Fear.
So when did the nut take over the nut house?
They scream and they cry. Which is your day now?
Well, he's not faking. Not that one.
Calm down, Doctor. Now is not the time for fear. That comes later.
As long as they can keep you afraid, that means you keep coming back for more information and seeing their ads. I'm not saying that people should listen to Dr. Phil, but I'm just saying there's a reason the media attacked him. Dr. Phil is getting slammed on social media for downplaying the Koof, comparing everything going on to car accidents and other accidental issues, while wildly exaggerating totals. Yeah, I think I heard in one of the things he said was there was like 330,000 pool drownings or something like that. I was like, what? When I heard that. 360,000 from swimming pools. I don't know about that, Dr. Phil. I think owning a swimming pool would be one of the most dangerous things anyone could do.
Don't be afraid. It's just water. It's not gonna bite.
Shut up! I know it's not going to bite, stupid. What a stupid thing to say. You drown in it, you moron. It doesn't have to bite you.
The television host, whose real name is Phil McGraw, was trending as Mr. Phil on Twitter early Friday morning following an appearance on Fox News Thursday, during which he criticized governmental mandates to shut down non-essential business. Now, I live in a state where my governor just shut us down until May 26th. That is longer than New York City's shutdown. There are elements of what Dr. Phil said that I agree with. My local game store is out of money. I just called them and essentially re-picked up Magic the Gathering to support them. I don't know why they can't be open. And I have a video later today that will probably really make you angry over a local game store owner that was locked up over it. But that's for later. Spoiler alert, I'm angry about it. He says, the economy is crashing around us, and they're doing that because people are dying because of the Koof. McGraw told host Laura Ingraham. I get that. But look, the fact of the matter is we have people passing 45,000 a year from automobiles, 480,000 from smoking, all this kind of stuff. But yeah, we're doing it for this and the fallout is going to last for years because people's lives are being destroyed. He's not wrong, but he's not a medical doctor, and Fox News bringing him on is a bad look. It's like bringing on Dr. Nick from The Simpsons. Hi, everybody!
Hi, everybody!
Hi, Dr. Nick.
The symptoms you describe point to
coronavirus.
It's a terrible disorder.
And it's not a good look. It's an idiotic move by Fox News. Even if there are elements of what he said that I agree with. The reaction was swift on Twitter when McGraw was denigrated as Mr. Phil instead of referred to as his typical TV moniker. Philip Calvin McGraw, also known as Dr. Phil, is an American television personality, author who's a former psychologist who is the host of a television show, Dr. Phil. One tweet reads, he holds a doctorate in clinical psychology. However, he is not licensed to practice. I mean, you're an idiot if you look to TV doctors anyway. These are the same people, by the way. Here's who is probably really mad about it. People that really like Dr. Phil and really respect him. That's who's freaking out. People that tune in to watch him every day. And now he said something they don't agree with, so they are emotionally responded. He also said, I think we really need to examine when people are allowed to call themselves doctor, another tweet said. Mr. Phil and Dr. Oz would be a lot less credible. The uproar comes after similar fallout for Dr. Oz, who said he, quote, misspoke when calling for reopening of schools. That was trending the other day. During everything, claiming it would equate to only 2 to 3% more passings. He also made his comments on Fox News, but later posted an apology video to Twitter. Every time. I expect doctors to stay in their particular lane of expertise, another tweet read. Mr. Phil McGraw's lane of expertise is dealing with teens, not epidemics. It's not unreasonable to expect that. But also, this is coming from a lot of people who are Twitter doctors. If you go on Twitter and you look at anyone, I muted this whole topic on my Twitter because it's just so full of people who think they know the answers to everything that it's ridiculous. Why would Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz be any different? Now you see the Daily Beast. It's time for Oprah to renounce Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz over their dangerous propaganda. There's a simple concept I try to teach my kids. If you make a mess, you should be responsible for cleaning it up. It's a work in progress with them, but we're hoping sooner or later it sticks. Of course, this rule doesn't apply to small children. All of us should work to remedy problems that are in some part of the result of our own actions, even if we happen to be one of the most famous people on the planet. Especially if we happen to be one of the most famous people on the planet. The bigger the audience we've created for our mess, the greater the obligation is to mop it up. This means you, Oprah. Oprah's role in creating dual fame for Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil, better known celebrities without their first and last names respectively, is not a new topic. Neither of them would be household names if not for her, and it's a problem of increasing seriousness that they are. Trash afternoon television is not new. It will never be new. They are no different than Maury Povich, in my opinion. If you watch these people and you're looking for genuine medical advice and you follow it, that's your fault. It's not Oprah's fault. Sorry to say, as much as I don't really care for Oprah Winfrey, I can defend her in this aspect. Oprah Winfrey has absolutely no control over what two of her employees say in their free time. This is ridiculous. There's a widening gap between the perception of their authority and their genuine credibility in the setting of public health issues that can get better or worse depending on how closely people adhere to recommendations for keeping it under control. That's right. Everyone listen to Daddy Government. Hopefully, you can accept their unemployment checks and everyone just needs to be more dependent on the government. Everyone knows that. And when you're not depending on the government, you need to read the Daily Beast and CNN and Fox News to be told what else to do. You see, there might be a little bit of an incentive for people like this. There will be a time when things reopen, and not everyone's going to agree with it. Will there be a spike in cases because of it? Yup. But at this point, you've got two growing groups that are continually fed fear-mongering, that are literally committed to staying in their house for the rest of their life at this point. And then you've got a group of people that are just sick of it all and ready to reopen it. Obviously, the real answer of what to do here is somewhere in the middle. A staged reopening is what we saw the president talk about yesterday. But ultimately, I'm not going to take my advice from a TV doctor, and you shouldn't either. And if you did, you don't really have any right to be mad about it. All right, the situation is complex, but when people reduce it down to the ridiculous, it becomes completely impossible to make correct decisions. Let me give an example. I am on we need to start reopening more businesses sooner, especially in cities that aren't hotspots team. All right. I live in a state, Wisconsin, that is not stressed by this at all. I'm not saying you need to just open everything up, but we need to start opening more things up. Now, people who disagree with me will say, well, there's going to be blood on your hands. People are going to die. Yes, they will. And they will whether or not we do that. This is an impossible position to argue against. The reality is, yes, people will. And no amount of locking things down will stop that. And the more civil liberties people keep giving up to the government in exchange for inflated unemployment checks, the bigger problem that we're creating, the more small businesses that will never be able to reopen. Again, I'm not saying throw everything out the window. Maybe you start requiring masks in public, or you do other things to get people back to work and you get people back on the main street. I live in a small town. Businesses are literally never going to be able to reopen. The payroll protection program is already out of money. Small businesses getting devastated. And when you look at a small town like mine, there's no reason the bird feed store can't be open. All right. You're no more likely to get the coof there than at Walmart. Okay. Just let me put this in perspective. I'm allowed to wander around at Walmart and Meijer all I want, but I can't go to my local birdseed store or my local hardware store. This is ridiculous. This is the type of stuff that I want to see rolled back. I'm not saying open up everything immediately. But what I'm saying is let's examine things with a little more critical eye and decide that, well, maybe True Value Hardware or your local lumber yard or your local coffee shop, maybe they can open because I'm allowed to rub shoulders with the titans of industry at Walmart. I feel like I should be able to support my local business. Nonetheless, end rant on that. Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz, go to the ranch. It's over. It's over for you. Except it's totally not, and you'll be totally fine because nobody really cares about this except for Twitter. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.